I'm assuming he's dead, because like we saw him fall into the water. Like he wasn't.
was
I didn't
hit.
think he was. Yeah, he was hit, but I don't think he was like. He wasn't hit to like kill him.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that type of wound, but like he fell very high above. So like I'm assuming he's dead. I'm assuming.
To me, it didn't look like a scene that somebody would die. It didn't look like that, but like I don't see where his storyline is going, because I don't think we're going back to the paradise.
Yeah.
So like the only time we'll be going back to the paradise is when we kill Aaron and we stop this. And I think he's gonna be sort of alive then, you know.
Yeah.
So like this is where I think his story ends.
Yeah. And it seems an appropriate place for it to end, because like our guys are now on their way to Eren. So like, you know, the Jaegers have failed in their mission to let Eren commit genocide. So I just think it is the appropriate time for Flock to die. Flock has been a very interesting character throughout. I have never agreed with him. I mean, I thought like in season 3, everything that he said, like it all made sense. Like when he was talking about they need to save Erwin over Armin. Of course, I get why he is saying that. And like when he was then mad at our guys in episode, I want to say like 19, 20 something, mad at our guys for like saving Armin, and like how they should have saved Erwin. All of that, you know, made sense. I simply never agreed with any type of Flock's ideologies. I think it's very interesting that he was, in my mind, kind of paralleling, because he was like giving speeches and fighting and like saying we can't let our comrades, we can't let them die for nothing, so like we have to stop them. And like it was to me a bit of a parallel to Erwin, but like, you know, when you put it head to head, when you parallel the two of them, it is a completely different thing. Like no matter how much it like sounds the same, like we don't let our comrades die for nothing, we don't do this, but like for completely other reasonings. The sheer difference between the two of them is striking, and I think the show points it out. I read a couple of comments being wrong, in my opinion, just like very fucking wrong, that thought that Erwin will be on the side of Jaegerists somehow, and I could not disagree more with that. And I just think Flock's whole ideology and everything just like stems from the same place that like Erwin's, let's say, motivation stemmed from, but it goes in the complete opposite direction of like anything that Scouts ever stood for, which is why in this season a lot of the times you see them using those words, give your hearts, in a completely different and opposite manner of whatever it ever was used for, because it always meant we protect the people, we save them, we give our lives to save the people, whereas now it means we kill people, we go and kill people to benefit our own. It never stood for that.
I mean, in their eyes, it means, again, we save our people.
Yeah.
But like for to save our people, they want to kill others.
Yeah.
So that is different than before, because our guys before were so fucking brave for going against Titans, and more than half of them died, like sacrificed their lives. That maybe someday our guys will be able to live freely.
Yeah.
And so like technically that like Jaegers wants to do the same in their eyes, because they want to like fight so that like our people on Paradise would live freely, you know.
Yeah.
But like it's completely different when you want to do the same what has been done to you to other people on the different world, like in the world.
Yeah.
The same thing that has been done to you.
Yeah.
Like to other children as well. I mean, either they will die or they will be traumatized for life.
Yeah.
The same way that you were.
Yeah.
And also I think Flock is one of the better written characters in my opinion, and I just love this show for putting a character like him here, you know, to show how, like, I mean, he, like we said, I will always sympathize for what he survived when he was a child, and when he was like comrade or whatever, you know, when he was scout, when he fought with our guys, you know. But like whatever he survived, that made him at this point in my mind a horrible human being. Like he's now ready to go and kill millions of people, and he wants to do that. He wants Eren to succeed in killing the entirety of planet. Like yes, do many of the people in the world want them dead, their island dead? Are they making weapons that are probably gonna at some point be able to kill the entire island.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true, and that is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But there is much more innocent people in the world who don't fucking know or care
or deserve any of this.
Exactly. But like what I'm saying is like who have nothing to do with politics.
Yeah, of course.
Or just living their lives, and what now they deserve to die because
of revenge.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, Flock has been just deeply traumatized, and he has become this. And like, who knows what he would have become if this was just a normal world. But it wasn't, and unfortunately, again, he lived through what he lived, and I think he is a great representation of what you can become in these circumstances when like the world can make you so fucking cruel that you want to do to other people what was done to you.
Yeah.
And again, one of the like big differences between like Erwin and him is like both of them were saying like that they want to honor the sacrifices of their like fallen comrades in complete opposite ways. Like, you imagine you honoring them by doing to other people what was done to you. What fucking honoring is that?
Yeah.
Like, they're in my mind two fucking opposite. They went into Erwin and Flock two fucking opposite directions. Again, I think a character like Flock was very necessary, and I love that. I screenshotted it. We went to see the information available for public, the disclosure, because like we couldn't read it all, but like it shows the Egoist, and it says, when titans were the greatest threat, titans were the enemy. When countries were the greatest threat, countries were the enemy. For as long as people hold firm to different beliefs, there will always be an enemy. That's it. And again, another part of the episode I think was really, really like well done, just like visually, but also again to continue with Mikasa, when she was killing all of them, and it was graphic.
Yeah.
It was like
the blood was
flying
fucking everywhere.
Blood. It was stunning. It was like stunningly well done. It was like awful. Yeah, I mean, stunning to see people die. No, but like visually, it was like so well done with the blood pouring, and then like it started raining blood, basically on her. It's just like, it's an awful thing to do, but like, what the fuck. They have made their choice. They're doing this, and again, I think they're doing at the end of the day the right thing. But I love that like both John and Mikasa say if we hesitate, like, because of course you would hesitate for every single one. Like, these are the people that you know. Like, you can't even fucking think about it. Again, you have to really become a monster. Like, you have to numb yourself down so much to just be able to go and fucking kill people that you have known, and so many of them. But like, both of them are aware if they hesitate, their friends die. I mean, their group dies because they're killing their friends, but their group dies and the rest of the world fucking dies with them, and so they can't afford to stop and like think anything about this, and they just keep moving. And I love that John, like, remember that, like, if he hesitates, because we know in season 1, right, because he hesitated, he couldn't make the shot, and so Armin took the shot. And after that, I think, boy can't hesitate. It was the same thing, like they said, remember when like he wanted to shoot Falco?
Yeah, and he's hesitated.
Like, he hesitated, but then he was like, I can't hesitate because like last time, and then I think God he fucking missed. But like this time, he knows he can't. They don't have the fucking luxury to hesitate at all, and they just have to do it. And I thought that was such a great scene, especially just like Mikasa's visual. She unfortunately was killing all these people, but she is the deadliest fucking weapon that you could have. Like, remember when Flock was like, no, that means like, where's Mikasa? Fucking most terrified of her. You have titans, and yet Mikasa is the one that puts most fear into you, appropriately so.
But again, just like how Beast Titan Zeke was the most afraid of Levi.
Yeah. The fucking Ackermans, honestly.
Yeah, then Falco. Fucking Falco. The thing I didn't want to ever see in my entire life is him.
I never wanted this for him.
Honestly, I never even thought, but like, I knew he was gonna change it at some point,
Mm-hmm.
But like, it didn't even cross my mind that when we started like these episodes that he was gonna change and be one who is killing people as well, because like him and Gabby, they're just so fucking, in my mind, innocent. Like, no, they're not. Mm-hmm. Especially not Gabby. Like, but now Falco as well.
Yeah.
They're far from innocent.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's the thing. They're kids, so
they are they're kids. They
you want
10
to
years
protect
old.
them. Like, you don't want them to ever enter the forest and like. Just...
And I think they can get, if Abby was able to get away from the mindset that it was like engraved in her brain, then I think they can get out of the forest when this whole thing ends. Yeah. Honestly, when he stayed, I wasn't sure what's happening and how he's gonna die, because like it didn't make sense to me that he's the one who is gonna stay to, and like to give the time to escape, because him alone can do nothing, literally nothing. What can he do? Shoot? He's gonna get killed in 2 seconds, and they still can chase them, like somehow. In my mind, couldn't, because I didn't know there was a ship. But the second that like I saw there was a ship, I was like, fuck, you know. So this makes sense. This is, in my opinion, a perfect ending for him. You know, if they had to choose a character to stay behind and save them all, I think sacrifice himself, I think he's the perfect character for that. So I think that made perfect sense, that it was perfect in my mind, you know. And then we saw Keith. And then we saw Kate.
I never like necessarily thought about it, but the two of them seem very similar to me now, because like they really care about the kids, about their kids, you know. And so I never thought about that team up for the two of them to now stay and give their lives. It was so fucking beautiful. Like I could cry right now.
I just loved what they said at that point.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite scene of the episode. That was so.
First, I love when Keith said how he saw our kids with Annie, like going, and how he was so proud of them.
Yeah, because of the choice that they made, and what a fucking hard choice to make. And like he understood, and that's what like gave him the motivation. Just like seeing them choose this, it's what gave him the motivation to like. I mean, he saved them, as well, and like he now, gave his life for this. I couldn't imagine a better way to go for these two characters.
I agree.
Keith as well in this season, just his storyline, like he is such a side character. He is like a side character. Like his storyline came so full circle to me.
That's what I love about this show. Because it gave, I love that he's a side character, and yet he got such a good ending, you know.
And like such an impactful storyline, because like we had an episode about him in season 3, I want to say, right? Bystander. Like we really got to know him, and how he also felt like a lot of guilt because of the people that he died, and the people that died under his command. He really didn't think that he could do anything, and that like the world really needed someone like special, like Erwin, let's say, to lead them, and he always felt inadequate. And I always remember that scene. I really love that scene because I love Carla. Carla was such a great mother, who was like holding Aaron, and she was like saying, do people like really need to be special? Like, he's already special just because he is born into this world. You don't need to be anything more. At the end of the day, like for a character like him to do all this that he did in this season, like he let himself get beaten up, like to kind of, let's say, protect again his cadets. Like, what a fucking brave man. What a great progression to his character.
I loved so much the scene when he talked to some of the scouts. Who didn't know what to do. They were terrified. They were scared, and he was like, follow him. Follow him because follow them, Jaegers, because you have nothing right now how you can fight. And then like try something, you know? So that's why he was so proud at our guys when he saw them all together for wanting to fight against. And we had to think what Magat said as well.
Magat.
How he...
I don't know. He's like one of my favorite characters this season. I just think what a fucking great storyline that he had. And yes, now at the end,
when he looked back at everything that he did. How he sent children to become warriors to fight against these people, you know, to break down the walls, to kill them, you know? Everything that he supported and like he did, and he now realizes what he did and how wrong it was. What exactly did he say about the children? How he, when he thinks about the world.
When he thinks about the world, and like if he could just, he was thinking like if they could just like, you know, stop the children from
Yeah.
having to
Yeah.
again go into the force.
If they could just
Like,
live
and-
normal lives,
Yeah, and like to see them be happy, like how
seems
happy that would make him.
That seems perfect to him now.
Yeah, and that seems like the thing to fight for.
Yeah. I don't even fight Aaron.
And like they're still gonna do it
Yeah.
again. I just don't know how they do this. I love that scene with Anya. I love this friendship between Mikasa and Annie, because like constantly throughout this episode we're
Yeah.
kind of together, and like when she was
Yeah.
hurt, Mikasa was carrying her, and when she like
Yeah.
went to the ground, Mikasa like went to the ground with her. I don't think Mikasa as a character just gets enough credit for how good she is and how she's there for people. Like it's not just about Eren. Like she was there for everyone. She's just like she's a very like quiet person, but like she's always there and she's gonna protect you. Well, I love that she was in her own way like trying to give as much support to Annie as she could.
Yeah.
And then Annie goes and like asks, can you kill Eren? Like, could you be able to do it? And like, I don't even know how to fucking start like approaching the subject of Mikasa having to do that. Like, we know it's coming. There's no other option. There's no other way. Like, maybe I could have believed in the beginning of season 4 or something that like maybe Gabby, you know, kills Eren because they're very similar in the way that they grew up and everything. But like, so at some point, like I could have maybe have thought like Gabby could potentially be the one. But like, no, of course it's gonna have to be Mikasa. There's no other option here.